Hi, I'm Merilee Mostov from the Bainbridge Island Historical Museum. On today's episode of The Curious Curator, I'm here at the Springbrook stream to meet with Deb Rudnick, the chair of the Bainbridge Island Watershed Council. Hi, Deb.
Hello.
What's special about this stream?
Well, this is one of the larger, what we call perennial or permanent streams on Bainbridge Island, which means it runs year-round. And that's very important for a number of reasons. It's important for wildlife that need access to water, variety of wildlife, including our iconic salmon. So this is one of our main salmon streams on Bainbridge Island. And we have a salmon run that comes up here every fall of coho mainly, and occasionally chum salmon. We also have resident cutthroat trout in this watershed.
So if I look in the stream today, we're here in spring.
Yep.
We won't see any salmon?
Probably not, because actually this is the stream on Bainbridge Island that's also designated critical steelhead habitat. And steelhead is a species that's endangered in Puget Sound, and there's a lot of concern about that species. And this stream, historically, there have been steelhead sightings on it. We haven't seen any in recent years, but steelhead do actually come into the stream at the late winter, early spring. But your chances of seeing one, especially because they're an endangered species, are pretty low. All our salmon species are facing decline for a variety of reasons. That has to do with habitat loss, it has to do with hatcheries, it has to do with harvest. There's a number of factors involved, and then on top of all of those, we can layer climate change, which is really threatening salmon in multiple life stages. I'm the chair of the Bainbridge Island Watershed Council. We're a program of sustainable Bainbridge, and salmon monitoring is very much one of the things we do. We run an annual salmon monitoring program. We've been doing it for 16 years now. So we take data on 4 streams around the island about our returning fall salmon.
Can you tell me a little bit about what happens when you come in to count the salmon in the fall?
We typically have about a dozen volunteers each fall that join us. And what they do is they split up into small groups, and each small group takes a different stream. And they'll be looking for both the adult salmon and the juvenile coho and cutthroat that may be in the stream year round. And they'll also be looking for salmon nests.
Have you seen a measurable decline in the number of salmon?
Yeah.
And the... Okay.
Yeah, we have. And I think that has more to do with larger issues than just Bainbridge Island. I mean, this is the thing about our fish. They may come to us, they may be Bainbridge salmon when they're spawning, but they are susceptible to a huge host of risks throughout Puget Sound and the greater Pacific Ocean.
So what else do you want us to know about this stream and the importance of this stream to Bainbridge Island?
Well, keeping it flowing and keeping the natural hydrologic cycle, particularly in the face of the risks of climate change, is going to be really important. The more we can protect the watershed in terms of making sure it stays vegetated and that the stream has canopy cover that is keeping the stream cool, particularly in the summer months. Those are things that we can do to make sure that it continues to function well. That's fabulous habitat for fish to hide in and animals to make homes in. And the canopy cover in general will keep these stream temperatures cooler. If you remove all this, you lose that cooling capability and you can easily heat the stream up. Historically, when Bainbridge had its agricultural heyday, so after we deforested a lot of the island and we moved into agricultural crops, so that would be mostly the 20s, the 30s, through maybe 50s, yeah. 60s, we had big strawberry fields, we had pastures, we had more livestock. There was not a really deep understanding, and there was some, but there's not a really deep understanding of the importance of streams and how significantly we could impact them in the way that we pastured or farmed. We farm in wetlands for good reason. They have really rich soil. But when we drain those wetlands, we lose all the water holding capacity, we lose the habitat associated with that wetland. And that happened significantly across Bainbridge Island. That was just something people did in order to make the land farmable. We also built a lot of ponds. So those ponds were used to trap water for either watering or livestock, but they also, in many cases, stopped fish passage because, they dammed up the water, or maybe they just let a little bit out in a way that fish can't get through. They held water, which maybe in some cases did some good groundwater recharge, but the flip side of it is it did other things. You lose the stream habitat, and you also are holding water that is exposed to more sunlight, warms up, and puts more warm water in the system. So a lot of changes came about as a result of the way we've used the land on Bainbridge.
What is something that a Bainbridge Islander like myself can do to help to sustain this watershed and the other ones?
Yeah, and the other ones. And that's really important because everyone on this island lives in a watershed. For one thing, you all live in the Puget Sound watershed because everything we do on Bainbridge Island flows off into Puget Sound. Because we have over 50 streams on Bainbridge Island and dozens of wetlands. And chances are you're close to one no matter where you live on the island. So you, in terms of the choices you make, even in your household and in your lawn, can have a really significant effect on the quality of water and the health of our habitats.